Five, four, three, two, and one. We are live. Welcome to another episode on Disqualified Dads. I am joined by my very humble co-host, Mr. Bentley Ryan. As you can see, he's back. And firstly, I just want to apologize for last week, guys. Couldn't make it last week. And let's put this into context. All right. Last week was the first stream the fact that there was no stream last week was the first time since last December. Since December. So we have been here every Sunday since December. In 6 months, we have missed one Sunday in 6 months. And the week before you could make it, Mr. Ryan, I was still here and we muddled through and we still, we pulled through and we still supported. So look, last week I should have made it, but circumstances, technical problems, various issues, beat us. But look, guys, we've been here every Sunday for the last 6 months. We have been here except last Sunday. Today, with the skin on my teeth, I've made it. We have made it. So we try our best to make sure we're here to support you. And also, Mr. Ryan, after last week's stream, when I say last week, the fact that we missed last week, people messaging me left, right, and center, showing support, showing they need us. And what I realized was, as much as sometimes I think there's any point to this, there's only a few people watching, should we carry on? There is many that have come to rely on us. We just don't realize. We've just been doing this so long now, I think we don't realize. And also, I have hit 2,916 subscribers. By the end of the month, I believe I will be at 3,000 subs on YouTube. Now, I initially aimed, I thought by last December I would be on 3,000, but I was wrong. It's taken exactly 3 years. It's going to take now officially just over 3 years to garner 3,000 subs on YouTube. Now, I just want to tell you, people have generally no idea how difficult YouTube is and what it has taken. I mean, you've been there from day one, Mr. Ryan. You know the journey here. To get to 3,000 subs on YouTube, it's been probably one of the most difficult jobs I have ever done. I'm not going to lie, I have done some difficult tasks. Let me tell you guys something. I have dug trenches. I've done physical labor. I have dug trenches with my bare hands. I've been in ditches. I once filled up 5 skips, 5 large skips I filled with 2 buckets, and I filled them up with dirt. That's the job I have done some difficult tasks, where most men gave up. They couldn't see it. They didn't have the longevity to see it through. I can tell you, just to get to this stage on YouTube, where we are today, has taken a hell of a lot. And by this December, if we stay on it, we stay consistent, because we now have a duty to these people. I understand there's a duty, we have to show up, and we will continue to show. We'll aim to show up every Sunday till this December now. And by December, I believe we're going to have 5,000 subs on this channel. When we have 5,000 subs, combined with the amount of content, I have to say, Mr. Ryan, I can't keep up with your content. It's relentless now across platforms. That family law guy, I cannot keep up with your shorts. It's just, I've lost track of it all. So combined between us, I believe by December, we are now going to get traction. It has taken 3 years to get here, to get this traction, and we will continue to persevere. And there's something else that I'm going to be starting this week, which we'll talk about in a minute. Mr. Ryan, welcome back. Just tell us a bit about what's been going on.
How are you doing, fellas? Firstly, and Farouk's right. We have had some difficulties in the last couple of weeks, and some of those difficulties continue, but that's a separate issue. So we apologise for the fact that there's been a little interruption in service. But as Farouk says, we are back now. We are back in the room, and we've got, we'll undoubtedly have lots to talk about. Farouk's absolutely right. That family law guy, social media is currently going mad. It's very deliberate. We are pouring content into YouTube, into TikTok, into Instagram. You can connect with me personally now on Facebook, should you wish to do so. It's very deliberate. It's very deliberate in order that we can start to engage with people and assist in what it is we're trying to do. We've got lots more plans in the wind with me and my pal Farouk. And we will keep you abreast of those as we run through the next few weeks and months.
Perfect. Also, a little reminder, guys, that obviously in the background, me and Mr. Ryan are still running, still working on logistics and other bits of content. Like I said, do not forget, Family Court Mastery is a course that's going to be coming out.
Coming.
It's going to be coming. It's going to hit the market. Like I said, we're going to put the information out there so someone can go online, electronic product, click, get the information, knowledge, get the coaching, get the mental, emotional support, get me, Mr. Ryan, and the wider team in a call where we can work on each and every case and cover 10, 15 people in one hit, boom, 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 mass help people just get through that journey. So look, it's got to happen. It's going to happen. That's coming. And also there's something else I'm going to be doing starting from this week, which we'll talk about in a minute. Right, Mr. Ryan, is there anything else, or should we jump into the question?
Get in. Let's get in.
Right, let's get in. Right, okay, here we go. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Right, living life, do your thing, bro. Bro, this is my life. My life is this. My mission is this. My mission is to progress on social media and spread the knowledge. Right, very good. Yes, you're beyond important. Inspired me to continue telling my own stories when I don't feel like it. American Fathers, like I said, I mean, watching your channel, bro, and like I said, your book reviews and all the other stuff you talk about, you've got a very, like I said, I'm no expert on YouTube, but I've been watching your channel. I've seen you get beyond that 1,000 subscriber. The videos you made on Wes Watson and your experience of that. I've seen some of your videos at well over 5,000 views. Just stay on it. Keep on it. If you can't make the videos at home, when you're in your car, make your vlogs. Just keep telling your story. Keep pushing it. I've seen you from day dot. Just keep at it, brother. You know, I'm there for you. I hear you. And I know what you're going through, bro. Just keep on it. Stick with the program. Like I said, keep persevering. I know your troubles. Mr. J, love the show, guys. Respect to you both for giving up your free time to educate us, dads. Brother, we are here for the fathers. We are now fathers to all of you fathers. That's our job. I ain't gonna worry about my kids, bro. I am a father. I'm father to you guys, and I'm father to all the alienated kids now. That's my mission. That's why we're here. That's what we're gonna do. Right, here we go. Mr. J. Do you recognize Mr. J? Do you know you, Mr. Ryan Banks? Or is it new?
We'll read away and we'll
Okay,
see.
yeah. Listen, I don't know if you're new here, bro, but yeah, we're on it. We're here every week, like I said, every Sunday, 8 o'clock, 8:30, but 8 o'clock most Sundays, every Sunday. Right, I'm currently in the system myself. Long story short, I had overnight access on alternate weekends and applying to court. I wanted more fairness. Kafka safeguarding was positive, and mum half.
There we go. Carry
wanted
on.
the same, but then 2 weeks before our federal domestic abuse claim started, and it's not going to an S7. Here we go. He's got more. Any tips for an S7, Mr. Ryan, with a possible home visit? Right. Okay, right. That's the question.
Okay, so we assume it is going to a Section 7, and it's just not surprising, unfortunately, that people go into family court, and you've got a situation happening, you've got some contact happening, and it's all kind of reasonable. You've just gone into family court in order to just sort of push it a little bit further, get a little bit more progress, and that's a perfectly sensible thing to do. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, allegations start flying, and all of a sudden you become the most evil thing on the planet, and that is incredibly disappointing. The upside is get yourself in front of the right CAFCAS officer, get yourself in front of the right judge, and they will recognize that. They will recognize the fact that the allegations being made are quite cynical. The allegations being made are probably baseless, but as you are now, you're heading towards a Section 7 with a possible home visit. Okay. The tips are this, and they're very straightforward. When a perfect stranger walks into your home, what they're looking for is to see that your home is suitable to house children. Now, they're not looking for a swimming pool, a sauna, ensuite bathrooms, and a 56-inch screen telly. That's not what they're looking for. They're not interested in that. What they're looking for is to see that the home is safe, warm, that the children have a bed to sleep in, and that clearly there is going to be some care and some love in that home. That's what they're looking for. They don't concern themselves with possession. Too many people say, "Oh goodness me, I need to make sure that I've got an Xbox and blah." No, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. They're looking to see that the home is a home where love can take place, and that those children can be fed and kept warm and kept safe. They're the things they're looking for. So the one thing I will say, and purely because this came up this week in another home visit that kicked off, I'd given a client some very clear instruction on what the home should look like. And to be fair, doesn't matter if it's a mum or a dad, they had followed my instructions to the letter. They tied it up. They made sure that they could see where the children were, and the children had a bedroom, and it was going to be lovely. So they'd done everything they needed to do. It was wonderful. Here's where they went wrong. And here's something that I hadn't considered, and I should have considered it. That particular client is a smoker. They smoke in their house. First thing the Kafkas officer said when she walked through the door was, "Oh, the home smells of smoke." And that was a problem for her because she was a non-smoker. So she had a view on it, as I am a non-smoker and I have a view on it. So that started off really not very well. There was a negative in the room already. So what I say is, it's those sorts of things that you need to consider. What Kafkas are looking for is to walk into a home which is going to keep the child, I'll say again, safe, warm, and fed. And the environment of that home is a healthy one. If you're a smoker, stop smoking in your home, get those windows open, get the Febreze out, and get rid of that smell. If you're a cannabis user, get rid of that smell, because that will destroy you. Get rid of that smell in your home in order that you provide no opportunity for cannabis. And that's it. Apart from that, in what it is that you're expecting to do.
Yeah, you're the last sort of 5 seconds, Mr. Rand. You sort of you broke off there. I think your line was bad there and sort of cut out. So the last sort of bit point, you just the last 20 seconds, if you could just cover that again.
Yeah. Okay. So
we've got past the smoking and Kafkas, the weed and all of that.
Yeah, healthy home for your children, and also be very reasonable in the way Kafkas officer. Be polite, be respectful. Know in your mind what it is you want to have good reasoning as to why you're trying to do it.
Yeah, I think just want to highlight again. Yeah, listen, if you're going through all of this, you're fighting for your kids. I understand. Look, it's tough. Some people need a bit of stress relief, cigarette, a bit of weed. Some people drink alcohol, all of these things. Yeah. My point is this: if you're going through all this trauma and pain, you need to lock in. You need to cut out these vices too. In order to elevate your life, sometimes you ain't got to do nothing. You just got to remove a few things. Once you remove all this cheap dopamine and cheap, fix-its, smoking, weed, alcohol, they're all what they are just crutches. You're using them as crutches to not tackle the problem. Yeah, build your mind, build your mental fortitude, build your knowledge so you can tackle the problem without needing these crutches. These things are all degenerate things. They're all designed to ruin you in one way or the other. Yeah, you're not going to elevate to your higher self as long as you're involved with these external stimuli and intoxicants. Get rid of them. Yeah, this is now child's play. This is now schoolboy talk. We shouldn't even be talking about this. I shouldn't even be giving this advice. You should already be on that level because you're in so much pain and trauma. You can't sleep. You can't eat. You're not interested in getting high. You're not interested in these because 24/7 you're only thinking about your kids and your mission. And in order to succeed, that's what it's going to take. That level of focus. Yeah, bring out your higher self. Use this pain and trauma. Understand what I'm talking about. Just to add to that point, right, where are we? Just lost track. Hold on. Beyond points, final to continue. Right, here we go. Let me just highlight Mr. American Fathers, my man John's comment again. Haven't seen my child in 6 years, and my ex is still looking at 495 days in jail for current contempt, 99 counts. Just to clarify, obviously, American Fathers is based in America. 6 years is tough, but listen, keep going, my brother. You're doing well. You put a lot of information and content out there. Get back on the family law stuff. Keep at it. Keep educated. You've got a story to tell. Like I said, you've had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of trauma, and you still show up every day now for your current children. You still show up being your best self. I see videos of you still playing with them, doing your thing. Yeah, you are the real Iron Man. Keep going. Yeah, stick to the program and keep at it. Right, we've covered that. Oh yeah, Hungry Hippo. I ain't seen him in a while. Listen, Hungry Hippo, hope you're well, mate. I ain't seen you in a while. Hi lads, a final hearing soon. Been told to do 30 minutes oral evidence and question Kafkas. Any general advice or tips, please? Mr. Ryan, take it away.
What the Hungry Hippo is telling us here is that he's heading towards a final hearing, and there will be no examination, no cross-examination of each party. So mum and dad aren't. The Kafkas officer is being questioned in order for her to justify what it is that he or she did by way of contact. And then each party has been given third oral evidence, or also known as a submission, a final submission. This is to explain to the court what your argument is and what the basis of your argument is. My tips and advice for that, in terms of Kafkas, you've got an opportunity to question. Use wisely, make sure that you've prepared your questions in advance, make sure your questions have to them, a process within them in order that they make sense. Otherwise, the judge is going to start to get and will potentially cut you off. So make sure that they are sensibly formulated. In terms of that 30 minutes that you've been afforded, that is your final opportunity to make your argument. So in that, I would allocate the 6 minutes of giving the background to this matter again for the judge. This is a mom, this is a dad. We were together for a period of time. And I'm back with you.
Yeah, sorry, people, to bear with us. Mr. Ryan's line is a bit playing up.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. It's just your reception. If we had your Wi-Fi fixed, like, what's going on with your Wi-Fi? Are you on your phone or your computer?
No, I'm on the computer.
Yeah, it's buffering. It's buffering a lot. Yeah.
Okay, we'll carry on. We'll carry on.
Yeah, carry on. Worst case scenario, we'll dial it on,
anyway,
on your phone if you need to. Yeah, worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'm going to flip in a minute. Under your 30 minutes, it's 5 or 6 minutes just giving the background, and you're repeating it. So we had a relationship. There were some children. We broke up because of A, B, and C. You 20 minutes that you've got left to explain how it is and why it is that you want, and to also challenge the evidence that has been presented against you. This, I say that. Mother says this, I say that. Mother says this, I say. And then round it up with a summary, 2 or 3 minutes right at the end that says, I believe this is in the best interest of the children. I would like contact to look like this for their support. That is a final hearing. That's what you're going to look like. But as I say, it's vitally important that you structure those questions with Kafkas. Don't wing it on the day, because that will fail for you.
All right. Thank you both. As soon as mum enrolled her solicitor, things got very nasty. I feel they're manipulated mum. Yeah, it's in their interest, because an angry mother, an emotional mother, can generate a lot of money. That's the reality. An angry mum is money, is dollars. Solicitors see dollar sign. That's the system we live in. Mothers are exploited and manipulated, and their emotional nature is manipulated and exploited. Mom struggling, needs child support. Dad struggling, he doesn't do his kids. Yeah, I think we have to accept that Dad is on his own. Dad is a soldier in the trenches. One thing I've learned during this journey is I've spent a lot of time in the trenches alone. You are in that trench. That's why I wore that orange overalls. I used to wear that orange jumpsuit to represent the shackles that I was in. I was a prisoner. I had my freedom, but in society, I was a prisoner. A father has no, once you enter the system, it was like you had no human rights. I had no rights over my children. I was homeless. I had no, the society just shut down on me. There is no place for us. I was a nomad. You are in the trenches. But like I said, all of these factors, these external factors, are only what they are, what you make them in your mind. They're either opportunity, again, Napoleon Hill, an opportunity of equal or greater good. Depends on how you frame all of this in your mind. So yeah. Evening, gents. Hope all is well. Hope all are well. Straight dad, yeah. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, Mr. Ryan is coming back, guys. Just bear with me. Bear with me. He's like I said, where he lives in the country, there's just about no electricity, let alone Wi-Fi. Right, great advice. My only concern is I only live in a one bed with my partner, but we sleep in separate rooms to the child. Will Kafkas be bothered by that as X raised a concern regarding that? That's a good question. Let's see what Mr. Ryan says. But until he comes on, let's talk more about the mindset. Let's talk more about mindset until he comes on. And shout out to American fathers as well. Like I said, this man has worked through a lot of turmoil. He has worked on his mindset. He has worked on his body. He used to get up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning and go to the gym. He has watched his diet and nutrition. He spends time with his children. He spends a lot of time reading a lot of books. Again, these are daily habits and actions. These are the things that you can control within your paradigm. And the thing is, you should only be focused on what's in your paradigm and what you can control. That looks a lot better. It's a lot crisper.
I'm on the phone now, yeah, because as I say, the studio's not quite ready yet. But anyway, carry on.
All right, it's a lot better. It's a lot better. Here we go. Right. Mr. J now, yeah, he's followed up. Great advice. My only concern is I only live in a one bed with my partner, but we sleep in separate rooms to the child. Will Kafkas be bothered by that as X has raised a concern regarding that?
Okay, as I said already, Kafkas do not concern themselves with the fact that you don't live in a 6-bedroom mansion. Kafkas's sole concern will be explain to us where these children or this child is going to sleep. Explain to us how it is they're going to stay warm. If you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, a studio apartment, and we accept the fact that there are many of us are, providing you can say to Kafkas, look, this is how this child is going to sleep, and it may be that maybe you give up your bedroom for the child, I don't know, or maybe it is that you're planning to essentially convert the lounge area in order that there's a bed in the lounge area for the child. As long as you've given consideration to it, it will be okay. I have had situations, just to give you some comfort, I have had situations where mums and dads find themselves in studio apartments, so there are no bedrooms at all. It's just essentially just a kitchen and a lounge area and a bathroom. That's essentially it. Kafkas accepts that people live where people live. And in those instances, we've explained how it is that the children would sleep, where it is the children would sleep. And that was, in one instance, it was essentially a sofa bed that was popped out when the children arrived for the weekends that they were stopping with the parent. And Kafkas were okay with that, as I say, because they don't expect everybody to be, to live in a mega property. Providing you've given it some thought and the child is safe and warm and fed, the circumstances of your living is not Kafkas's concern.
All right, I hope that answers the question. WHH, hi guys, hope you're well. I had my section 7 and it was completely full of nonsense. Had I have raised a complaint? Any advice?
If you disagree with your section 7, you should have had, and well, you may well still have, opportunity to share that disagreement in a formal statement of response to the court, in order that when you get to your next hearing, you have shared the issues that you have, i.e. I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, etc., etc. So that is option 1, and you should have had that opportunity as a standard. Option 2 is to formally approach Kafkas with your complaint and say, look, I don't believe that this report is fair or appropriate or accurate, whatever the issue is. Here are the reasons why. Here are my concerns about how the report was undertaken. And you provide all of those to Kafkas, and then Kafkas's process is that your complaint will be reviewed by the manager of whoever it is who did the report. and they will come back to you and give you their comments, where they may agree, they may not agree, or they may be somewhere in the middle. You then, once you've got that response, the next part of CAFCAS's complaint procedure is you then have the opportunity to go back again and escalate the matter up to an appeal committee. So those are your two options. I would always choose the option of going into the courtroom and saying, here are my concerns about this report, and flagging those up in front of a judge. That would always be my preference.
Good. I hope that answers the question, Mr. W. Right, Mr. Stray Dad, I agree with you. Man-made system, whether you like it or not, system is biased, man. Unless you have a decent judge who has logic. I just want to touch on this here, Mr. Ryan. I spoke to a chap that we both know recently, and he went to court recently, and he had a great result. The judge ordered immediate contact, and he could not believe it. It turned the whole situation around. Now, I have been speaking to this chap from day one. From day one, when he entered the system, coached him, guided him, and nurtured him through slowly. Mr. Ryan's been with him in court, doing all the stuff behind the scenes. And guess what? And this is what I keep saying. He could not believe it. The whole situation has turned around. It is possible. It can happen. But you have to believe this. You have to believe it can work. You have to believe it can happen. And you have to be patient and play the game one step at a time. It's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. And situation has turned around. So it can happen, guys. Start believing. Right, Mr. Ayman Saleh. I think I don't recognize the name, but listen, if you're new to the channel, we're here Sunday, 8 o'clock, every Sunday, 8 p.m., supporting you guys. So look, tune in and spread the, like, subscribe, follow, and share. Right, hope you're all well. I'm waiting for a witness statement of allegations. I was supposed to receive it from Ex's solicitors 4 weeks ago. I emailed them a few times now, no reply. What can I do? Great question. Comments in the comments.
Very straightforward. Send an email to the court, copy their solicitors in, and say, the court direction says I should have received a statement on this date. It is now this date. I've yet to receive that statement. Please, can this be noted on the case file? And it's highly likely that within 24 hours, that statement will appear on your email.
Perfect. There you go. Right, hold on. Got a question here. Mr. Imran Adin, what's up with the shades? Right, let me explain to you what's up with the shades. The shades are here, so I don't look myself directly in the eye, because when I look at myself in the eye on the monitor here, I get intimidated. I look at myself and I don't recognize myself. I think, who is this guy? This guy's an absolute monster. Look at the stuff he's coming out with. Look how well articulated he is. Look how good he looks. Who is he? I don't want to look this geezer in the eye because he's quite intimidating. And then I realize it's me, and that disrupts the stream. It disrupts my flow. It disrupts me speaking. Now, when I'm saying this, now think about it, I'm saying this with a straight face because this is straight facts. I know Mr. Ryan's laughing. This is my reality. The shades are there. The shades are there, so I don't intimidate myself. Now, let me ask you guys a question. From the first string to now, do you even recognize me? Do I look like the same guy? The same guy that made the vlog in the van 3 years ago, do I look like that? Do I represent any resemblance of that man that you knew? Oh, Mr. Ryan, let me ask you. The man you met 3 years ago, March 2022, am I that guy? Am I the same guy? Do I talk the same?
You are not that guy. You have grown as a human being in that period of time. And let me be serious, because I was mocking there, but let me be serious. The last 3 years have been bloody hard for you. I'm aware of it because obviously, you and I are in each other's pocket. So I know the last 3 years have been bloody hard for you, and you have worked damn hard to rebuild and reshape and reframe in order that you can present yourself as positively as you do to the world. And I am, as your friend, I am proud of that. And all right, this evening you do look like a DJ from Ibiza. But aside from that, aside from spinning those tunes, it has been difficult. And you have come on tremendously in the last 3 years. And as I say, I am immensely privileged to have been on the journey with you.
Mr. Ryan, I appreciate your kind words, and we are just getting warmed up to get our journey is just starting. The way I see it, we have a long way to go, and we are going to conquer many mountains, and we are going to do a lot of things together going forward. And I look forward to continue working with you to bring change help and support for the masses, and we're going to change the trajectory of all of this. So yes, looking forward to it, guys. And like I said, guys, straight face, can you see that? I mean everything I say, every word that comes out of my mouth. Right, do visitations at grandparents even if dad doesn't have a home? Court doesn't care when staff to struggle for the impossible half paychecks are stolen. Yes, I know in America, I know the system's a lot harsher. I mean, than the UK, especially the CMS system in America is a hell of a lot harsher. Fathers are going to prison and they're still getting billed while they're in prison. I tell you, man, so it is tough out there. So listen, American fathers, we're with you. Keep spreading the knowledge and information out there. And like I said, over the last few years, there's a few people in America that have had them connect with American fathers, and he supported them through. So he's holding the fort up there in America. Keep at it, my brother.
Absolutely.
Right, Mr. Ryan, are you know you're on your phone? Can you see all the comments and stuff?
Yeah. I can't see the comments. All I can see is what you've got on your screen. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right. Oh, I can't jump off for a second. All right, no worries. Right, hi lads. I'm so sorry I missed the answer. Question again, please. Is both parties 30 minutes oral evidence and question Kafkas? What do I need to focus on? What should the structure of my statement be? How did you miss it? Look,
Right.
Please advise. Thank you both very much. Okay, Mr. Wright, do you want to just quickly run over again? I got the bit where you said, like I said, they cool and compose. Kafkas don't care. Was it the guy with the flat, or was it a different question?
Right, bear with me.
Bring his question up again. Hold on. Can you see that?
Bear with me one sec, because what I'm just doing is I'm just hooking up on a laptop as well, so that I can see the comments lines. So just bear with. Make small talk while I just do that. Here it is. Right.
Yeah, guys. So look, go back to mindset. I'm doing a lot of while Mr. Ryan's doing that, I just want to focus on what I'm going to be working on this week now and starting. I am starting, like I said, a private coaching group because I speak to fathers every day. I get emails every day that I forget to get back to. I've got guys sending me numbers and I said, I'll call you back. I can't get around to it or I forget. It's just, I can't keep on top of this. I can't keep on top of all the tech, making the shorts, uploading like I said, I've been doing this for 3 years now, yeah. And now I have spoken to my mentors, I've spoken to coaches, and for me to really make real impact, instead of me talking to one guy for 1 hour, 2 hours on the phone every day, and that information helps him, that one-off, and it's gone. That information is now lost. Where if I was on a coaching call, weekly coaching calls, private, and these are private groups, it's not online, so we can talk openly. Even if Mr. Ryan jumps on those calls occasionally when he can, it will be private. It will not be on the internet. We can say things a lot more openly and we can frame them more directly in some cases because we have to be careful what we say on there. Ultimately, we have to present it a certain way. So the private coaching group, like I said, these platforms, it takes money to run them. So I'm going to try, I think it's the school group platform, Alex Mosey's school. Once I start that, it's going to be £30 a month subscription. Now that way I could be on twice a week coaching calls. We could have 10, 15 guys on the group. So when we're talking for an hour or maybe even 2, I'm not just passing information to one father, one-to-one. This is me talking directly to 15 people. We can give pointers, hints, tips, what to do, how to survive. Because I'm still talking to guys who just enter the system. They are in trauma. They are struggling. If I can now create this group and an environment when I can show them they're not alone. We are together. We're here to support each other. We can give practical advice and practical coaching, which I do now, a one-to-one, I can do with a group. And like I said, look, when you're down in the dumps, £30 a month, like I said, it's not a lot of money. There's people spending thousands on lawyers and solicitors. I have to be fair to myself and my time and the service that I'm giving. It cannot continue the way I am. Like I said, it's impossible. There's people getting missed left, right, and center. It's going to be a £30 a month subscription. I'm going to set it up to get that ball rolling. And like I said, I am now more than confident on the information, the knowledge that I have got, the information, that knowledge that I have gathered, the coaching information that I have, the courses that I've been on, the mindset stuff that I work on. It is beyond reasonable doubt now, even in my mind, that I don't even appreciate the man I know. Like I said, I am talking every day. It now needs to help the masses. And to help the masses, you got to put your hand in your pocket now. It's at that stage. Like I said, 3 years. I've been doing this 3 years. So I'm starting a school group, so that all these new fathers, if you guys want to join, great. If not, no biggie. Generally, for anyone who's entered the system, the links are going to be on all platforms for them to join. Like I said, it's a subscription, £30 a month, but it's going to happen this week. Sorry, did I miss the last question? Are you back, yeah?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm set up now, so I can see the comment screen now.
All right, I'm going to jump off for 5 minutes. I need to pray quickly. Yeah, can you just
No, that's
run the
fine.
ship for a few minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, let me recap on this one then.
All right, good stuff.
Okay, so back to Hungry Hippo. So you missed the answer, no problem at all. It is going to be easier rather than me bang on here about what you should be doing. It is going to be far easier for me if you just contact me direct. But let me give you a very shortened answer. The key to a final hearing, given that you've been given the opportunity to question Kafkas, is to ensure that you structure those questions in advance and structure them well. So that is about dismantling their report and making sure that you are going to get your point across what it is you are trying to achieve. That's important. Don't turn up on the day and just think you can wing it, because you will not. It will just mess up for you and will not look good in front of the judge, and that is not going to help your position. So that's my comment in terms of Kafkas. If you want some assistance in terms of the Kafkas questioning, obviously we are more than happy to assist. You need to contact me directly in order for that to happen. In terms of the oral argument that you've been allowed, or the submission that you've been allowed to do, that is the judge saying to you, I'm going to afford you a maximum of 30 minutes. You don't need to use all 30 minutes. I'm going to afford you a maximum of 30 minutes to give me your final argument. And by final argument, that means you need to round up everything that has gone on. This is where this relationship started. This is why it broke down. Here are the issues that we've been having. Here are the comments that have been made by one party. Here is my response to those comments. Here is my evidence to challenge those comments, or indeed agree with those comments. And ultimately finish that 30 minutes off by saying, and this is what I want. This is what I want by way of a frame with these children going forward. And this is why I want it and why I believe it's appropriate. Now, if you were legally represented, that 30-minute roundup would they would include in their case law, and they would include legal precedent, and they would include lots of law-based conversation and law-based argument. I don't want you to worry about that. If you are self-representing, and I get the very distinct impression you are, if you are self-representing, do not concern yourself with trying to make case law arguments and make legal precedent arguments, because you will not. That is just a waste of your time. That's not where your skill set is. Your skill set is the sincerity in which you deliver this case, the sincerity in which you, as the parent in this matter, tell this judge, look, this is where I am. This is what I'd like with these children, and this is how I need your support. So I can give you much more detail on that. We can have much more conversation on that if you want to contact me directly. But that very shortly is where we are in terms of that response. Now, what I'm going to do, just while we're waiting for Farouk to come back, and that subscription product that he's just described sounds incredibly useful. And also incredibly reasonably priced. So that's something that I would urge all of you to give some thought to, or certainly if you know anybody who would benefit from that, absolutely give them that detail to move forward on. I can see, I'm just looking in the contact comments now, just to see if there's anything I can pick up while I'm just waiting for Farouk to rejoin us. I know there's a comment which is coming up. It's from Stray Dad. And I'll wait for that to come up on the screen. But what I will say is that Stray Dad took some advice a few weeks ago and contacted me directly, and we've had some very valuable conversation, and we're now assisting Stray Dad in the next stage of his process in order that we can try and get him to a decent end result. So that was, following advice, listening to us for a while, and then deciding to sort of step outside this forum and talk to me direct. And that opportunity is available to anybody who is listening in. They can always come to me direct, or they can always go to Farouk direct, in order that you can have a private, more open conversation. So that's important. In terms of American fathers, I see he's with us this evening, and I love that. What I must do at some point, American fathers, and I'm putting this out there to you, at some point we really must get you on, because there are some interesting differences and some interesting comparisons between American family law and English family law. And it'd be interesting, really, for the benefit of the viewer, for us to explore some of those differences and explore some of those comparisons. I've got an interesting situation coming up in a couple of weeks because I'm going on as a guest on an American parenting podcast called Raising the Kids. And that I'm going on there specifically to explore how we do things differently over here versus how things are done in the US. So that'll be, because as I say, despite the fact that we speak the same language and we are essentially of the same blood, and we have very closely interconnected history, some of our legal systems are fundamentally different, and some of our cultural systems are fundamentally different. So just a thought. American father, if at some point you'd like to come on and join myself and Farouk on the link, that would be interesting, and we could just have one of these sessions, one of these clinics, just exploring the differences between the American system and the English system. So that's an offer I will make. Looking down the contact, and I appreciate that I can see what you guys can't see. Let's have a look. There you go. American Dads has just said he'd love to join us. So there we go. That's all right. That's a good start. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'll answer this question because somebody's asked it, and I'll just answer it while we're waiting for Farouk. Somebody later on in the link has asked, why did I become a Mackenzie friend? I kind of stumbled into it, to be perfectly honest. I have owned a number of businesses over the years and continue to do so. And it doesn't really matter what they are. But a member of my staff came to me about 20 years ago and was in trouble. It wasn't a family matter. It was actually an issue with her landlord. And she was heading into court and she was going on her own, which I wasn't very comfortable with, given that she was a young girl. And so I went with her. And by going with her, I walked into the court. It was in Manchester. Walked into the court, and the usher said to me, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm just here to sort of give her a bit of support." And he said, "Are you a solicitor?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you a barrister?" I said, "No." He said, "Oh, you must be a Mackenzie friend." And I said, "Yeah, that'll do." And that's where it started. So it made me realise, having spent some time then following that, it made me realise that there are lots of people who don't have access to legal representation because they can't afford it or they don't want it or whatever the reason is. And they need people like me. So that's why I do it. Been doing it nearly 20 years now, 20 years next year. And we do it because we need to. And look, Farouk is back from Ibiza, from his last set, and he's going to rejoin us.
Right, where you at? How far? You still on the Hungry Hippo?
Yeah, well, I was just skipping around, to be honest, chap. I haven't touched on any of the questions specifically. I was just skipping around with the viewers.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. I like that. Okay, that's good. That's good. You need to do more of that. I agree. All right, let me read out a super chat. In the meantime. I haven't had a super chat in a while. Right, we have $9.99 from Mr. J. Appreciate that. Thanks for the free advice. Really appreciate the work you do, chaps. I thankfully got an interim order, still allowing overnights every other weekend. Hopefully, Kafkas are fair with their S7.
Hopefully,
listen, yeah, Mr. J, so do I. And I just want to say, look, like I said, you've got an interim order, you've got overnights. The key is you've got contact with your children, which means you have a relationship and this time has not been stolen. Like I said, it's the time that is stolen. Like I said, when I think about or see my kids, but they're frozen in my mind to when I last saw them. That time period, that time slot is gone, it's vanished, it's disappeared. It was a different lifetime. So you've still got that. So focus on the positives, keep chipping away, keep at it, eyes on the prize, and don't get complacent. Yeah, that's the key, to stay focused. And thank you for the $9.99. That's paid for my dinner. The rest of you take note. Yeah, I'm not happy with this lack of super chats. Yeah, I want to start seeing some more super chats around here as well. So I mean, man, got to eat. Brother's got to eat here. I'm flipping. What do you call it? I am. Someone's not rotting away. So when they're getting really skinny, there's a saying. I forget it. The saying's gone. I can't think of it. It's gone. Okay, thank you. I have raised with a service manager, Mr. WHH. Perfect. Right, here we go. So have you dealt with this one again or not? Have you dealt with Hungry Hippo so far?
I'll make that very quick. Yeah, we've dealt with that one. We've dealt with that one. Yeah, we've done that.
All right, yeah. And Hungry Hippo, if you haven't heard it, if anyone misses anything, look, you can go back to the stream and watch it later, yeah? Because like I said, we've got to try and get through a lot here, so we'll try not to repeat ourselves. If you miss it, just go back and watch the stream later. Like I said, it's uploaded on YouTube forever. So in the metaverse, forever. Right, here we go. Let's go to Mr. Stray Dad. In your statement, after a fact-find hearing, can you exhibit evidence that you were not able to exhibit before, as judge refused me addition evidence in my C2 application, but I'm thinking to add to my statement? Good question. I like it. Very technical.
Yeah, essentially, yes, you can. But the obvious question I would ask is, why would you bother? Because the fact find is essentially where it is going to be decided. The allegations of abuse, they're going to be decided in the fact find. So whatever evidence is in front of the court at that time is what is going to be used in order to draw the conclusions on the fact find. Once the fact find is complete, you will be given the opportunity, well, both parties usually will be given the opportunity to comment upon it. If you submit additional evidence at that point, that you do run the risk of actually being criticised by the judge, because they'll say, why are you doing that? What I would suggest you do is, because it's highly likely off the back of a fact find that CAFCAS will get involved in order to prepare either a Section 7 or an addendum Section 7 in order to decide what do we recommend in terms of these children now that there has been a fact find. So I would probably present to CAFCAS, here is some evidence that, that was overlooked in the fact find, and I'd like to share it with you. So there are mechanisms by which you can add evidence, but you've got to work out in the journey where it is. Now, I appreciate the fact that you were denied the opportunity to add it so far, and there are some issues around that which we're addressing. But just be careful as to when it is you try and stuff into your proceedings, because it isn't always going to be in your favour.
Right, Mr. Stray Dad, I hope that helps. Right, American fathers. Third-party expert makes 90-page report against father. Father cannot cross-examine expert unless father pays $2,500 per day for expert appearance. That's right. So you're probably saying he has to get a barrister to talk. Same in America. That's the same in the UK. You can't cross-examine mother, or I suppose the mother's team or their experts directly. So you have to do it via the judge. So what I'll say to you then, checkmate, that can never pay that, no fair trial. Mr. John, this is what I want you to focus on, yeah? Like I said, we know the hurdles. You know the hurdles and pitfalls. But we cannot let the brain focus on the pitfalls, on the negativity. We can only control what we do. So you have to highlight all the parameters that are in your control in there. Everything that is only in your control. All of this, like I said, these are constructs externally. We cannot control it. We can control the internal and what we do. I want you to solely focus on you and your action and what you can do. Whether you're in court, whether you're not, whether you're talking to fathers, you only focus on the positive action that you can take, regardless of the circumstance or situation. Yeah? So I want you to focus on that, because you've got it in you. You're a very positive guy. You've come through a lot of turmoil and trauma. And you could have only have done that if there was something inside you. I want you to focus on that thing. I want you to focus on that to overcome all of this. All right, DGS. Currently, I supervise contact via contact center. Had about 7 sessions and reports are all positive without any concern. Before this last time, I saw daughter was 3 and now she's 5. Flipping it, man. You've been in contact center for 2 years. Oh no, he's got more. Mum said daughter is telling teacher and family members that she's going to get her daddy to beat them up. Mum said she's creating log. How do I respond to this, as I believe mum is painting bad picture? Yes, very good question. Very good point.
Yeah, I think it sounds to me like the mother is probably manipulating the narrative and making comments that the child is probably not saying at all, or mother is feeding the child in order to make the comments. So you just need to manage that situation, and I appreciate it's difficult. Your contact reports are very positive, you say. That is the start point. So you need to base yourself upon those and then state very clearly that whatever else is happening, whatever else is being suggested as having been said, is simply not true. And it is the mother manipulating a situation and instilling a false narrative deliberately in order to frustrate and obstruct.
Right, Mr. DGS, I hope you caught that. Apologies, I was a bit distracted. I got a message, so apologies for that. But yeah, I hope you caught that. Right, American, you're the father. I saw inside the man who was dying back then. I'm so proud of you for it. Yes, absolutely, brother. I was definitely close to death. Anyone who has faced this, like I said, I just want to highlight on this point again. 10 men a day post-separation. That's the statistics currently. That is the pain that you suffer when you are separated from your children. 10 men a day post-separation. This is why we're here. We want to give these men hope. We want these men to continue. We want them to survive. Then we want them to thrive. And then we want them to be the men that their children will be proud of, regardless whether they're in their life or not. You still become that man. Imran Dean is 50 Shades of Grey. No, sorry. This Mr. M. Sorry. Mr. M to Imran Dean is 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, that's my other life, guys. That's what I do. That's what I do off stream, guys. You know, it's other stuff I'm involved in off stream. You know. Right, here we go. We got a superstar here. Good evening, chaps. 5-star. This is the man. He's a very happy man right now. He's a man who's ecstatic. He's a man who's like he's won the lottery. This is the reality of happiness, guys. Happiness is a paradigm. You can only appreciate happiness when you've been miserable. This man currently feels like he's won the lottery and he's on top of the world. He has seen his child. He has held his child. He has hugged his child. After months.
He's eating cake with the child.
There you go, guys. There you go, man. Damn. I wonder what that feels like. Damn, he's won. He's a winner. Straight up, guys. Anyone know any good groups apart from this, the mental well-being courses, etc.? Anyone recommend that are good? As we say, play the game. Yes, there is. There's my group. The only group you need to go to is my group. I am starting a private coaching group. It's a monthly subscription of a mere 30 quid. It's like I said, it is a mere 30 quid a month subscription. And let me tell you what that subscription pays for. It pays to keep that private school group, that electronic platform running. Yeah. So all this stuff behind the scenes, all of this costs money. So like I said, I need at least 10 to 15 sign-ups to make it worthwhile. So Stray Dad, like I said, we talk on here every Sunday, but like I said, I coach a lot of people outside of this. I coach a lot of guys on a one-on-one. I coach people on a paid service. I also coach people just for free. I help those fathers that have just entered the system to help with that mindset. There's many fathers that I've spoken to over time, just kept them going. Just kept them going, got them out that theme park, got them out the roller coaster, give them the mindset and the tools where they can function. Firstly, they can survive, they can function, and there's those that fully understand the message, that fully digest and receive the message, they start thriving. They start being the best versions of themselves. They come out of this. They live from a different paradigm. But yeah, bro, but the point is, you have to invest. It's not for me to invest in you. You have to invest in yourself. You have to put your hand in your pocket, yeah? I've paid for courses. I've paid for training, yeah? I've got mentors. I've got people that help me with my mindset to try and push through to the next level. So there is. It's going to be school group. I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to put it on my YouTube page, the school group link to join. So join that, and we get to work on your mindset. And the courses that I'll give you, they will help you, man. They will elevate your mind. They will elevate how you see the world, which will elevate your life experience. So join the group. Put your hand in your pocket. That's straight out. I know a good FB group. There are loads of parenting courses online. Yeah, parenting courses and all that. Yeah, that's a different thing, bro. But like I said, my course is for life, bro. It's to elevate you as a human being in life, to elevate how you see the world, how you live, how you walk, how you see yourself. Mr. Ryan isn't a legal technician. Five-star. Mr. Ryan isn't a legal technician. He's a magician. I'll say no more, guys. See, if I had those buttons where you can like do applause and make different sounds, I think there will be a sound of applause. So as we don't have that, I'm going to do the applause myself. It's for Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan doesn't get enough credit for what he does, the hours that he spends in the office, the early mornings and the late nights, 7 days a week, including Sunday evenings on here. supporting people. And along with that, like I said, the amount of content he's now putting out, mate, is ridiculous. So listen, credit to him. He doesn't get enough. Right, what's crazy is fathers are up against someone who just had to wing it without proof. Fathers have to then become M16 super gods of law to defend their case. At still no chance. Like I said, brother, there's only no chance if you believe there's no chance. Yeah, I know you're a man of God. A man of God believes, like I said, in the above the material world. A man of God should be able to see above and beyond the obstacles in front of him. That's what true faith is. So still going against an opponent and an enemy when you are outnumbered, when you are outgunned, when you have no chance, but you hold on to your faith and you still march forward. That's what I'm trying to say. Regardless of the odds, you march forward with full faith. And let me tell you about odds. I had a realization today. Now, so this is going to be like an absolute bombshell shock to all of you. Some of you might think that I've gone mad. Some of you will probably think that I'm on some form of medication. But let me tell you something. Not today, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week. But let me tell you something. I am going to have my children at some point. This is now a fact. I am going to have, I believe, I'll put it on air. I'm going to put it into the metaverse, regardless of what people think. I believe I will have full custody at some point. I'll be sitting here on a stream one night with my children around me. They're going to come on to say hello. They're going to come on with me to say hello to you guys and say, guys, don't give up because my dad didn't and look where we are. I believe it's going to happen. Now, from this point where I am to that point where it happens, I just need to figure out how. That reality is going to happen. I believe it. It is going to happen. I've seen other things happen that have been impossible. The fact is, I shouldn't even be sitting here right now. I should not even be alive right now. But the fact is, I am here. If that was possible, there are other things that are possible. I believe this is possible. I will be sitting with my children here at some point, full custody. Between now and then, it's just a matter of figuring out how, what route to take, how to take it. It may be many hurdles, many pitfalls. It's just a matter of time, matter of when, and a matter of how. It's a reality that's going to happen. Period. So focus on what you can do. Start believing. Start believing against all odds. This is what true faith is. And sometimes that's all you need. It's the power of belief, the power of your faith. You're a man of God, John. You need to focus on that against all odds. Right, Mr. J. Mr. Ryan, what made you get into becoming a Mackenzie friend? Your knowledge is second to none. It's a great question.
Good question. I answered that while you were away from the screen, actually. So I was talking about that when you came back. So yes, no, I did it because somebody needs to do it. That's the short answer.
There you go, guys. There you go. Man saw a path to help people. He saw a path to support people, to support families, to support children, to support fathers, and he took it. This is noble work. The man chose a path of noble work right there. See, superheroes don't necessarily come in capes. They come in all shapes and sizes. Right, Mr. Ryan, what is the process if parent report DVDA? What steps are taken and do the police investigate and arrest right away? Great question.
Do the police investigate straight away? No. Do the police arrest straight away? No. It really does depend on the magnitude of the allegations made. Because the police, the single issue that we have with the police is they're incredibly busy and there's not enough of them. We can see that by the amount of crimes that go completely untouched by them. So they are supposed to react to domestic abuse and domestic violence. They are supposed to prioritize domestic abuse and domestic violence, but they do it, in my experience, with a brush of cynicism. So they listen to allegations and then they start to draw a conclusion as to whether what they're being told has some accuracy to it, has some validity to it, or whether they've just got somebody sat in front of them who just wants them to cause trouble against somebody else. So it's quite a complicated, the involvement with the police is quite complicated. You'll often find that they'll rush off and find the other party and arrest them, and then they'll give them a very quick 1-hour interview, and then they'll send them off under bail conditions, and that's how they'll stay, and nothing whatsoever will happen for the next 6 months until eventually the police come back and say, well, we've decided to do nothing about it. Because by doing that, they can tick the box in terms of we've addressed the domestic abuse and domestic violence, but the reality is we've actually done not a great deal because we haven't had the time or indeed the resource. Very difficult one. I have immense respect for the police. I have a huge understanding for the difficulties that they have. I spend a lot of time engaging with the police. So I have a huge understanding of the difficulties that they face in terms of, it's only one police officer. He's only on shift 4 days a week. There are only 24 hours in a day. There's only so much he can do. Hence the reason that shoplifters are being left alone. So it's a difficult one.
Right, yes, I hope that answers the question, Mr. I. Stray Dad, it's difficult as I've got the same judge assigned to this case. Hold on. It's difficult as I've got the same judge assigned this case to them as we do not get on with each other. I'm worried as he's biased and favors mother. Can I get him changed?
Short answer, no. Trying to get a judge recused, which is the legal phrase for removed and replaced, is nigh on impossible. The only way you're going to get them recused is if you can prove the fact that they're having an affair with the other side. Outside of that, you suffer with what you've got, and we just need to work out, which we are doing. We just need to work out how it is that we try and reframe your relationship with this judge.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, you need to try and okay, the only strategic thing you can really do is when you're in there, try and get back in the judge's good books. And this is what I say, guys. You can't take any risks in the sense that you can't lose your head, you can't have emotional outbursts, you can't get triggered. Present your best self. Even if it is biased, you present your best self, make your case best you can, articulate yourself the best you can. Because you just want to stack the odds in your favor. Like I said, if you can get him 1% on your side every hearing, that's all you can do, because you're working with small margins. And the key is this: you're working with small margins. What will happen in the end will be what will be, will be. The key is, in your heart, you did your best. You didn't half-ass it. You didn't just throw a few shots out there hoping to get lucky. You left everything in the ring. That's the key. You left every part of you there for your children, not your ego, not yourself, for your children, as a man and as a father, because that's all you can do is give your all and give your best. That's all you can do. Whatever happens in the end, whatever reality you have to accept, you can do it with your head held high. Because you can only control what you can control. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I can't wait to join you guys. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yes. While you're away, I invited American Father to join us on. We'll do a 3-way.
Yeah, listen, I've been trying to connect with him many a times, but the problem is where he is. It's an 8-hour or 5-hour time difference. So I think it just makes it very awkward. But yes, listen, John, if you could jump on once in a while, or next time we're on, or today, or next time we're on, if you can jump on even for 5-10 minutes, just give us a little breakdown on what's going on in the US. And what I was going to suggest to you, John, is on your channel, keep spreading the positivity, keep spreading the hope. We need to put positivity out there and hope out there. Yes, go on.
Maybe a pre-record, where we work out the time differences and we pre-record something between the three of us and put that out as a pre-recorded.
Yeah, well, let me connect with him. Hold on, his message here. Because we tried to do this before. There we go. Let's schedule a show with the three of us. Yes, listen, we'll do it. I'll tell you what, listen, I'll DM you on Insta, John, and we'll work something out, yeah?
Yeah, work something out.
That will be good, yes. Right. Mr. Shaz Mia, I know this fella. Mr. S, got an FDR question. X wants 80-20 split of the equity of the property in her favor. What are my options, arguments against that?
Right.
Okay. Yes.
It's a good question. It's a huge question. So it's a question that that is inappropriate to try and answer on here. I suggest that if you want me to answer it, Shaz, I would need significantly more information, and we probably want to do it directly.
So I'll tell you what, Shaz, I will send you, I'll tell you what, I will send Mr. Wright, I'll WhatsApp him your number. He will message you, or I'll send both of you each other's number, connect and have a conversation, and Mr. Wright can explain in more detail. Farouk, nice to see you, bro. Yeah, listen, I know you boys were planning a holiday, so listen, keep me posted on this holiday. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Maybe on the next one, I'll try and join you. We've covered this. We'll speak to Mr. American Fathers, try and get a lowdown on what's happening in the US. Right, Mr. J, Hungry Hippo, defo get a good Mackenzie to support for your final hearing. Worth their weight in gold. Important you get this right. A lot on the line, man. A lot on the line, mate. Yes, he's correct. I would say, look, where you can, we look at Mackenzie, like I said, is considerably cheaper than a barrister and a lawyer. If you can get a Mackenzie to get in with you whenever you can, get one. Yeah. He will see and notice and pick up things that you might miss. He might just pick up one little thing that might change the direction of your journey. That's what I'm trying to say. Look, and you use the nuclear option when you can. So, like I said, you use firepower when you can. So, if you've got a bit of money, it's getting a bit serious, save up a few £100, take the Mackenzie. Like I said. So, look, it's all strategy. It's all strategic. It's all strategy. Mr. S, how often do child arrangement orders get resolved at a first hearing? Bloody hell, man. Is another hearing often required a family court? What things does it depend on? Right, I can answer this, I think, from the back here. If you get your situation resolved in the first hearing, we would all like to know which court it was, which judge it was, where it was, because we all want to apply. We're all going straight there. I cannot see that happening. I mean, for me, 99.99999%, I just cannot see that. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
It's yeah. Let's be honest. It's rare. It's happened. I have, to be fair, over 20 years, I have a number of occasions where we've managed to resolve it in the first hearing, but it's incredibly rare because in order to resolve at the first hearing, both parties need to be reasonable and be prepared to make sacrifices and compromises. And if that was the case, we wouldn't be in court, would we?
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, I think a lot depends. What people don't realize, yeah. I think all of this depends on how sensible your ex is. If she's, let me put it over one way. How can I put it? If you're just generally a normal, mature human being who does genuinely have concern for the kids more than your relationship and the breakdown of your relationship or wanting to get back at you, you won't have many problems. That's the bottom line. All of this depends on how sensible your ex is and how parent or child focused she is. It's as simple as that's the bottom line, isn't it? Right. So to answer your question here, hold on, let me just clarify this. But to put it simply, look, a child arrangement case can last for anything from 6 months to a year, 3 to 4 hearings, depending on any abuse allegations or not. So if there's no abuse allegation, then it's straightforward. We're saying 3 hearings, roughly a year, 3 to 4 hearings, if there's no abuse allegations. So that's the reality. So this is what I say to you. Do not pin your hopes on that. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Again, I think that's saying it's a marathon, not a sprint. This ain't no 3-round amateur boxing match. This is a 12-round fight. And this is what I'm saying. Mentally and emotionally, prepare yourself. Because most people, they're going hoping for a quick result. They put all of their emotions pinned on this little hearing. They go there, nothing happens. And 9 out of 10 cases, when they pin all their hopes on something, it goes completely the opposite way and it gets ugly and that man is destroyed. He doesn't have the emotional strength to carry on and continue. Hence, do not put your hopes. It's just the first round. It's a feeling out process. You're in the first round, you're throwing a few jabs, you're just feeling out the opponent. This is a long fight, long road ahead. Mentally, emotionally, accept the situation and move on and get ready for the fight. You're going to have to fight, yeah? It's a mental preparation. All of this is mental. It's how you see it, how you perceive it. What you perceive it is what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Brace yourself. It's going to be a rough road ahead. That's my advice. Get ready for it. Saying that, Sergio, you need to join that school group. You need to join my private school group coaching. It's £30 a month subscription. I can help you and support you, get you mentally and emotionally right through this. And in that group, we'll be bringing on different coaches. Mr. Ryan will be jumping on every now and then, give you guys a few gems off camera as well, off the public eye, so we can talk to you directly. So join that private school group, yeah? Right, marriage causes divorce. Mr. Shazmir, how many kids? Who earns more? How many rooms in the house? What is the mortgage capacity? Great point. That's a great point. Marriage causes divorce. If you can pick up some of these other questions as well, Mr. Marriage causes divorce, we truly appreciate that. Jump on it. Right, what's the story with 5-star? We love a success story.
Right.
From Mr.
Okay.
I. Go on, give us some.
Well, we're still in proceedings, so we can't say too much at this stage. Obviously, I can't compromise it. And also, there's obviously a privacy issue with the fact that 5-star is obviously one of my clients. But I will say this. Here is a father who 10 days ago, after not having seen his son for 10 months, we went into a court expecting a particular event to happen, and I can't be any more specific than that. The judge completely blindsided us and did something that I never expected in 100 years, to be perfectly honest. The judge was absolutely glorious. And 24 hours later, 5-star saw his son for the first time in 10 months. And he then saw his son every day for the next 10 days. Wonderful.
Bless, alhamdulillah. Thank God. Listen, alhamdulillah. So, guys, it's possible. It can happen. But you have to have a little bit of patience. You will be tested. Patience, hope, and belief, and faith. American fathers agreed. Yeah, we'll arrange that. Thanks, Farouk. Thanks, guys. Farouk, I'll email you. But yeah, email me, WhatsApp me, or email me what your bits are. I'll send it over to Mr. Ryan. I'm going to exchange both your numbers. Get on it. Don't hang about. Arrange a call this week. Get on it. American Files, I believe it, brother. John, like I said, get back on the positivity. Get on your channel, start spreading positivity, start spreading the information and knowledge you have, and give people hope. I don't want you to focus on the negativity anymore. We know the system's bad. We're not here to trash it. It is what it is. We just find out what works, what doesn't. We move on, focus on us, ourselves, and what we can do, what we can change, what we can implement. So start spreading that positivity. That's your mission now. You're spreading hope. This is why we're here. Right. Can we have some, Mr. J, can we have some family court success stories, please? Mr. Ryan, give us that some hope. Yes, you mentioned that last time, but we've given you one success story. If Mr. Ryan has any other success stories anytime during this stream that comes to his head, Mr. Ryan, feel free to share them. Anything comes to your head.
Yeah, family court is hard work. It is hard work. Well, but we do have lots of success in family court. We do have lots of occasions where children are reunited after sometimes fairly short periods of time, after sometimes very long periods of time, reunited with their parents. That is absolutely right. It is a success for me when I am aware that a child is having time with their parent, because that is time that child is rightfully entitled to. And I kind of switch that and say, let's talk about it from the child's perspective. So from a child's perspective, it is absolutely their right to have a relationship with both of their parents. And it is fundamentally wrong for one parent to maliciously try and stop that. So yes, we do have success in family court. Frankly, if I didn't have success in family court after 20 years, I wouldn't still be doing it. I'd have lost all hope. I'd have abandoned it, and I'd have gone back to perhaps selling windows or something else. But we do have success, and we reunite parents with their children, and that's the reason that I get up every day, and the reason I do it every day.
Absolutely, God, absolutely. And on that note, we have a comment from Mr. 5-star himself. The advice I would give to everyone is to document everything. Absolutely.
Amen.
I have said to people, now, like I said, this isn't advice. I'm going to say this again, though. Record everything, document everything, snapshots of pictures, messages, anything. Do not engage unnecessarily. Do not have text conversations and arguments and back and forth. Yeah, you have to be grown up now. You have to be a disciplined general now. You don't make rash decisions or snap emotional reactions. Yeah, document everything, record everything. Don't have text arguments. Do not engage unnecessarily. Do not leave a door open for a burglar to walk through. It's as simple as you leave your window open, you're leaving yourself at risk. Just secure, lock everything down. Yeah, your behavior, your habits, everything now has to be locked down. Right, I'll do your time. Yeah, John, I'll WhatsApp you, I'll message you on Insta. We'll communicate on Insta. Just so as you know, John, we are here every Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time. Even if you could jump on, say, like I said, we'll see if we can arrange it at some point during the week, even if you do a recording. Or worst case scenario, what we can also do is, like I said, with live, it's a different feeling when you're live streaming. So even if you could do a live, jump on the live stream, say next Sunday, 8 onwards, even if you jump on for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you can, we'll have a little conversation back and forth. Or like I said, we'll do another time, but we'll definitely, I'm going to communicate on WhatsApp on the old Insta and we'll make it happen, yeah? Right, cool, that would be great, bro, Shaz. Yeah, leave that with me, Shaz, or I'll connect you guys, we'll get this sorted. Right, Mr. I, RE recording and documentation. Does that include audio logs? Can this be perceived in a negative way in any capacity? Great question. Great question.
The family court is essentially quite uncomfortable with audio recordings and video recordings. They don't like them. Primarily they don't like them because they don't really have the mechanism to manage them, because it requires them to create broadcast equipment in the court we can use. So they're very uncomfortable with them. Where they're more uncomfortable is that a sizable proportion of audio recordings that are produced in the family court and video recordings that are produced in the family court are covert, i.e. the other side didn't know they were happening. And the court is becoming more and more uncomfortable with that, primarily because it is happening more and more often. I have a case running a couple of years ago where, a client might have had 2 30-second recordings of a party. Now I'll have a same case running and they might have 50 audio recordings running over numerous hours. So the court is becoming quite uncomfortable. There are some new guidelines coming out from the court. I'll talk about them when they've come out, about how they're going to address the whole issue of audio recordings. So currently, it boils down to the judge. Some judges are overtly uncomfortable with audio and video recordings. They don't like it. They think the one side is setting the other side up, because what invariably happens is you goad somebody during an audio recording because it's being recorded. They don't. So you just push them and push them and push them in the hope that they'll just explode. And there you go. That's proved your point, hasn't it? So audio record by all means, video record by all means, record in note form by all means. But be careful how it is that you manage that into your family court process. And as I say, once the new guidelines are made available to me, maybe by next week, we'll talk about them specifically.
Yeah, but the thing is, look, like you said, you manage your recording strategically. You don't just present what you don't need to. And like I said, the recordings are like insurance. You're not planning to have a crash, but just in case something goes wrong, it's there as a backup. So if you are alleged or accused of something or saying something or doing something, or like I said, it's the old Kafka situation. In your Kafka interview, me in chat, they're biased, but they do something wrong. You don't just randomly bring it out. It's only when they're saying, or there's a report is inaccurate, or they have misconstrued what you have said, which has had a detrimental effect and an impact on your case. And then you say, well, actually, Judge, hold on. This is a lie. Let me show you. Then you bring it out. That is in a backup. And that, regardless of whether the judge likes it or not, you will discredit what they have done because you've shown evidence. Now, my point is, that is an insurance policy. The recordings are not your strategy to win the case. The recordings are just an insurance policy. Understand the mindset. Everything is strategic. That's not your way to win. That's just there. If things really get ugly, you get put in a corner, you're looking really bad, and you can pull one little nugget out and say, look, Judge, it's all bullshit. And he says, oh, yeah, I see your point. By the way, you shouldn't have been recording. Yeah, I know, Judge, my bad. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not in this corner anymore because they're all lies. That's what I'm saying. Play the game. Simple strategies, yeah? That's how you do it. Am I right in saying that, Mr. Ryan? Insurance?
Yep,
It's not a strategy,
that
it's
is,
insurance.
yep, exactly. I agree with that.
All right, I've got some questions on WhatsApp. I nearly forgot there's a regular from WhatsApp. So, right, here we go. Any chance you could give us a rundown on what to expect at the fact finding in the first hearing? So give us a quick little breakdown. Fact find, first hearing, what's going to happen?
Right, okay. Well, the fact find, there is only one hearing, and it's either going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 days long. What is going to happen is the judge is going to introduce the case at the start of the fact find, pre-decided. So before the fact find starts, the parties will have decided who is getting cross-examined. It might just be mother and father. It might be mother and father and a CAFCAS officer. It might be mother, father, a CAFCAS officer and a social worker. It might be mother, father, a CAFCAS officer, a social worker, and a whole load of members of the family. But however that is, that gets predetermined. And then the judge doesn't mess about. The judge jumps straight into cross-examination. And so the first party, who is usually the applicant in the matter, so the first party gets cross-examined, and then gets then both sides get the opportunity to ask questions of them, and that works its way through cross-examination over the course of 1, 2, 3, or 4 days. Once cross-examination is finished and all the witnesses have had their chance on the stand, the judge will then invite final submissions, going back to our earlier comment about what final submissions are. So this is the last argument provided by the legal representation, if there is any, or indeed direct by the parties, as to what their argument is. And then the judge will retire. Sometimes they will give the judgment on the same day, i.e. at the end of the 3 days or 4 days of fact find. More often than not these days, I find, the judge will actually retire and say, I will bring you back in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, and I will give you my judgment then because I need time to consider it. Fact find.
Right, perfect. And his follow-up question onto that is, I have an S7 as well. What should I expect? Just a home visit, question mark.
Yeah, Section 7, as we know, as we've said many, many times before, is an investigation by CAFCAS into what's going on in this matter. So you will get subjected to an interview. They will probably conduct that in your home. They do that deliberately in order that they can see the setting in which you're proposing to have the children. They will talk to you. They'll try and get an idea of the history. They'll try and get an idea of what it is that you're trying to achieve in the matter. But they will also explore with you your view on any allegations that have been made, or indeed any findings that have been made. They will get your view on that. And then from all of that information, they will then form a series of recommendations, which they will take into court as to how this matter should be concluded.
All right, let me ask you a question. I'm getting confused these days myself. I'm a bit rusty on all of this. The Section 7 report is made when these allegations of abuse are there. Like I said, CAFCAS phone call, CAFCAS interview, and then they'll compile a Section 7 report, yeah?
Yes.
Right. And is that alongside a fact find hearing, or is the fact find independent completely of the Section 7?
What the process normally is that the court identifies very early that there should be a fact find in a matter. They decide that the allegations are serious enough for there to be a fact find. They will effectively suspend all of the child contemplation while they carry out the fact find. Once they've completed the fact find and have findings, have a result, whatever that result may be, they will then instruct CAFCAS to carry out a Section 7 in light of the findings. So that is where CAFCAS will still do the same process, phone calls, interviews, home visits, blah, blah, blah. But what they are doing is they are exploring what happens next with these children now that we know what we know as a result of the fact find.
Right, okay, gotcha, right. Guys, on that note, I'm glad we made it. It's been a great stream. Thank you all for joining. I hope we have provided some support. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. Spread the message. Join the school group if you want further support. The link will be in the bio on all platforms. Mr. Ryan, any closing comments?
Just, we've got another week ahead, guys. If you're in proceedings, then I trust they go well for you. Be reasonable, be professional, be focused. We know what the end goal is. We're just trying to create a situation where our children are entitled to have a natural and wholesome childhood. Do what you can to pursue that.
Absolutely. Remember, I'll keep it simple. Eyes on the prize. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Don't get triggered, don't react, present your best self, present the best version of yourself, and maybe start becoming the best version of yourself as well, generally in life. That's what we need to do. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. We'll see you next week, 8 p.m. We are here every Sunday, 8 p.m. Over and out. 5,